Okay, well, hi everyone. I wonder what you made of the film that you watched, Vida, Loca. So it's a wee bit of a dated film now. It was made in the early 1990s, but it portrays some of the themes that sometimes arise for female gang members, particularly in the US context. So you were asked to consider a number of points. So there's different kinds of gangs that have been identified within the female context by previous research. Exclusively female gangs, where girls get together and form their own gang. And also there are mixed gangs where males and females are very much together within the same gang, and also auxiliary gangs. Auxiliary gangs are where a group of females get together, but actually they're very much affiliated with a wider male gang, and it was an auxiliary gang that was being portrayed in the film that you watched. So what were the kinds of how were the young women constructing their gender identity? What were the roles in the gangs? Well, they were very much in subordinated roles. They were seen as adjuncts to the real gang members, which were the men in the gangs. They were in subordinated roles within this very patriarchal gang context. So you saw they were sometimes used as sex objects and possessions by the men. They were sometimes exposed to violence-prone situations, particularly among each other. Some of the rivalries that emerged between the women, which was often related to relationships that they had with the men. So you saw, for instance, the way in which the two main characters there, Mousy and Sad Girl, were very much in loggerheads because of they were contesting over the one guy in the gang. And they were very much used as sex objects. Protection was offered to them in return for sexual activity at times, and although they didn't perform real, the real firearms stuff, and the violence and the drug deals were very much still coordinated by the men. Sometimes they were used to carry out some of the deals for the men, and if they didn't perform in a suitable way, sometimes they were punished as well and exposed to violence. But there was some elements of what Jodie Miller in her research has called bad girl femininity as well, where some of the young women were aspiring to be as tough, perhaps, as the men in the gangs. So that gives you an insight into some of the roles that sometimes women can adopt in these kinds of auxiliary gangs within an American context. And so looking forward to exploring some of these issues in more detail in the lecture below when you tune in and download the slides. Thanks.